The road leading to Blackwood Manor was long forgotten, swallowed by nature's relentless grasp. The old mansion stood alone at the edge of the dense woods, its towering silhouette casting an ominous shadow under the pale moonlight. For years, rumors had swirled about the house whispers of disappearances, eerie wails in the night, and a darkness that lurked within its walls. No one dared to venture near, except for those who were either foolish or desperate for a thrill. One such fool was Daniel Carter, an aspiring journalist with a penchant for urban legends. He had stumbled upon a faded newspaper clipping about Blackwood Manor, a story detailing the gruesome demise of the Wren family over a century ago. The official report spoke of murder-suicide, but the villagers believed something far more sinister had taken place. Driven by curiosity and a hunger for the truth, Daniel set off to uncover the secrets buried within the forsaken house. As he approached the manor, the wind howled through the trees, carrying with it whispers that seemed to beckon him forward. The grand entrance stood ajar, revealing a cavernous hallway shrouded in dust and decay. A chandelier, long abandoned to time, swayed gently overhead as if disturbed by an unseen force. With every step, the floorboards groaned under Daniel's weight, the sound echoing like the ghosts of the past. He took out his flashlight and scanned the room, his breath hitching when he noticed the portraits lining the walls. The faces, frozen in time, bore expressions of anguishes hollow and lifeless, as if staring into an abyss no living soul should witness. As he moved deeper into the house, he found remnants of a life long extinguished. An old piano, untouched but missing keys, a child's wooden toy lying abandoned in a corner, and a table set as if awaiting a dinner party that never arrived. The air was thick with the scent of mildew, but beneath it lingered something more disturbing, the metallic sting of dried blood. His pulse quickened when he reached the grand staircase. A gust of wind rushed past, sending a shiver down his spine. Then, a soft, almost imperceptible creak. He turned sharply, flashlight trembling in his grasp. The hall was empty, and yet he felt watched. Steeling himself, Daniel climbed the stairs, each step feeling like a descent into madness. The upper floor was worse. The walls bore scratch marks, as if someone had desperately tried to claw their way out. At the end of the hallway, a single door stood slightly open, revealing only darkness beyond. Summoning his courage, he pushed it open. Inside was a bedroom, untouched by time. A massive four-poster bed sat against the wall, draped in moth-eaten curtains. A mirror stood in the corner, its surface foggy and cracked. As he approached, a sudden movement made his heart lurch. His reflection was not alone. A shadow loomed behind him, its form twisted and unnatural. Before he could react, the door slammed shut, and the room was swallowed by darkness. Daniel fumbled for his flashlight, but it flickered and died. The silence was deafening, save for the slow, ragged breathing that was not his own. A whisper caressed his ear. "You shouldn't have come." The last thing he saw before darkness consumed him was the mirror, where his own reflection no longer stood, but something else stared back, grinning in the void. The town never saw Daniel Carter again. But on some nights, if one dared to listen closely near Blackwood Manor, his terrified screams still echoed in the wind. Days turned into weeks, and soon, Daniel's disappearance became just another ghost story whispered among the villagers. Some believed he had fallen victim to the same fate as the Wren family, while others thought he had lost his mind and vanished into the surrounding woods. One stormy evening, Amelia Reynolds, Daniel's childhood friend, arrived in town, determined to find out what had happened to him. She was not one to believe in ghost stories, But Daniel's last voicemail had unnerved her. His voice was frantic, whispering about the shadows watching him and how he had seen something in the mirror that should not exist. Armed with only a flashlight and her unwavering determination, Amelia retraced his steps to Blackwood Manor. The house loomed before her, a silent sentinel in the darkness. As she stepped inside, the air grew heavy, almost suffocating. The walls seemed to breathe, and every shadow appeared to slither just beyond her vision. She called out Daniel's name, but only the wind responded, moaning through the broken windows like a mourning specter. The furniture remained as he had described, untouched yet filled with an eerie expectancy, as though waiting for her arrival. When she reached the staircase, a sudden gust of wind sent shivers down her spine. Footsteps echoed from above light, deliberate, unmistakably human. Heart-pounding, Amelia climbed the stairs, her every instinct screaming at her to turn back. Reaching the top, she noticed something new, deep crimson stains trailing along the floor, leading to the same bedroom Daniel had entered. The door stood slightly ajar, the darkness inside seeming almost alive. Taking a deep breath, she pushed it open. The mirror was there, cracked and foggy. The air was thick with an unholy stillness. She stepped closer, her flashlight flickering as though struggling against an unseen force. Then, she saw it. The reflection was wrong. It was not her own face staring back at her. It was Daniel's. His mouth moved soundlessly, eyes wide with terror, hands pressed against the glass as though trapped within. Behind him, a shape stirred, a towering figure with hollow eyes and a gaping, toothless maw. It reached for him, its fingers stretching unnaturally long, pulling him deeper into the abyss. Amelia's scream died in her throat as the reflection lunged forward. The mirror shattered. The house stood silent once more. But the story did not end there. Blackwood Manor stood untouched for decades, a monument to its own haunting. And yet, as the years passed, strange occurrences plagued those who wandered too close. The wind carried whispers of names long forgotten. Some villagers swore they saw figures in the windows, faces pale and mournful. The mirror, though shattered, always seemed to reappear whole, pristine, and waiting for its next victim. Then one night, another journalist came to investigate, armed with cameras and modern technology. He believed none of the stories, laughed at the tales of Amelia and Daniel. He never laughed again, because when they found his equipment weeks later, the footage showed something terrifying: a mirror in the darkened house, reflecting not one, but 3 faces. Their mouths open in silent screams, forever trapped in the endless nightmare of Blackwood Manor.